stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. Stay clear of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 243 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today is Monday, March the 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. Top of the Monday Morning Monorail to you, laddie.
Please stop.
2025. I hope you're taking the day off work and starting the day with a frosty cold pint of Guinness, me lad. It is another beautiful Monday Morning Monorail day. Thank you for joining us once again. We've got lots of Disney news to get to because last week we did our March Madness show, which means some of these articles got backed up. So we got to get to it today. But before we get into the news, I've got to welcome in my co-hosts who want me to not do any more Irish accents. Listen, I'm like 54% Irish. I have some right to try, but, you know, it doesn't work very well. We'll start with someone who I think has 0% Irish in her DNA. It's Stephers. Stephers, what percentage Irish are you?
4%.
Is that true? You're just guessing.
Below the waist.
No. What? What does that? What does that mean? Oh, no.
You don't see.
Oh, no.
No, I actually think I'm Polish, not Irish.
Okay.
No, Polish, and I don't know. I'm just Asian. I'm Asian. Let me live my best life.
Well, that's exactly why I thought you maybe, but I guess it's always possible. We're all mutts at the end of the day. We all have confusing ancestry. But when I look at you, you don't have the red hair. It doesn't scream Irish to me, Stephers. I'm just saying.
It's because I'm Asian, but yes.
There you go. Diversity podcasting.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I definitely. I'm like 90% positive. My family's like Polish, not anything close to anything else.
Okay. Well, you know, you're in good company. Cocktail Bob is also Polish. I don't think he's Irish at all.
The coolest people are.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I'm not going to get into it. Okay. And now let's welcome in our third and most important co-host, because he's the one who has a big milestone birthday coming up. And I would say there's a chance he's got some Irish in his ancestry. It's Landon the Doane. Landon, what percentage Irish are you?
This is really awkward because this podcast is brought to you by 23andme.com. Hi, everybody. Coming to you from the isolation stage of love. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon the Doane. And it's a Monday morning. You know what that means. And today is St. Patrick's Day. And to quote the Boondock Saints, today on St. Patrick's Day, everybody's a little bit Irish.
That's true.
Wait, have either of you already done a 23andMe?
I have.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, can we pretend that Justin hasn't, and then hasn't, and then all three of us do it like together as like a podcast, and then we read the results on the podcast as part of the intro bit, in which we just go off the rails as we usually do.
I'm open to that. I don't mind sharing mine, but I will tell you there were absolutely no surprises.
I mean, it's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
Yeah.
I feel like my results are just going to be 100% hillbilly East Tennessee region.
That's okay too. I'm
fine with that.
We're all.
I mean, I am decked out head to toe in Tennessee orange. It looks like at any second I could just wander away from the microphone and camera and go on campus for a Tennessee sporting event. So
that's true.
Go Vols.
I mean, we're recording on Sunday. It's a big Sunday in the Tennessee sports world because we have a chance to beat Florida on two different sporting events on the same day, and that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping
the
for
baseballs, your defending reigning national champion Tennessee baseball team could sweep the number 6/7 Florida Gators on the diamond, and on the hardwood, a possible 1 seed is still at stake for Rick Barnes and his number 5/6 Tennessee Vols as they take on the hated Florida Gators on the hardwood. And the SEC championship is on the line.
That's
at
true.
least in the tournament. So
yeah. So as you're listening,
orange and white.
As you're listening to this tomorrow, and Tennessee lost both of those games, let's just we'll just pretend. We'll pretend like right now we're in the happy zone of we don't know, the games haven't started, we don't know what's going to happen, so we're just assuming we're going to take them both, and it's going to be a great Tennessee sports weekend. Mm-hmm. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Walt Disney World. And like I said, we've got a bunch of news. Before we get in, just a quick little reminder. We do have a partner, an affiliate, if you will, Vacation Grocery Delivery. That is www.vacationgrocerydeliveryfl.com. This is a company that's run by former Disney cast members, and they will help deliver groceries to your resort when you are staying at Walt Disney World. So you can save money in the parks. You can save money on your breakfast, your lunch, or however you want to do it. Because don't forget, you can take food with you when you go in the parks, but also you can have maybe take a break, have your lunch in the resort, whatever you want to do. And they can deliver more than just food. You can get strollers, coolers, you can get birthday cakes, and they have some special like items that are non-grocery items on their page as well. So go check it out. You can order online. Make sure you place your order 3 days before you need the delivery. They've got a special water delivery option for $4.49. Fees, $25 delivery fee, plus 5% service fee, and a $20 activation fee applies, but is refunded after payment. Make sure to use the code DISMORNINGS for $5 off any grocery order of $10 or any 2 items on the Magical Extras. That's what I was looking for. Magical Extras, so it goes beyond the groceries. Vacation Grocery Delivery, FL.com. Thank you very much, VGD, for being an affiliate of MMM. Cool stuff. Landon, when you come down here for your birthday, maybe you should consider ordering, have a nice 6-pack delivered to your resort on arrival.
That would be pretty dope. And you did talk about how they have special things they could deliver, like maybe, I don't know, a birthday cake if somebody were to be traveling down there for a birthday, a 40th birthday, as it were. Maybe I should hit up vacationgrocerydeliveryfl.com and use promo code DISMORNINGS to save $5 off any grocery order or $10 off any 2 items on the Magical Extra list.
You could do it.
Would be a great way to kick off a very special trip coming up at the end of this month / beginning of April.
Yeah.
Very, very soon.
Very soon.
I just want to say the bad boys are reuniting.
Oh, yeah. When's the last time all 3 of us were together in one place?
Was it Stephers' wedding?
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. That's what I thought. Man.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, 4 years ago, guys.
Golly, I can't believe it's been that long.
I will say, and I'm saying this on the pod so that y'all can hold us accountable, but also I can listen back to this and be like, I'm an idiot. If we don't get multiple pictures together as a unit, because let me tell you, from my wedding, we don't have a full unit photo that's not like that. That's like that's posed and like intentional.
Yeah.
We need that in our lives.
We absolutely do.
You know,
but this is why
I agree. Yeah,
we're gonna do it. This is why we're spending a day at Magic Kingdom. I said it's mostly for the photography because we need the 3 of us in front of the castle. We need some ride photos together, some posed ride photos. Like I'm looking forward to. Don't worry, I'm gonna have a full plan of photography set up for us when we go to Magic Kingdom.
Oh wait, should we be super cute and should we capture our moment together and actually make a cast member photographer? Like we could do like a whole photo sesh. Is that too much?
I don't know if we're going to go full photo sesh, but my annual pass does have the photo pass option on it. I think yours does as well, Jay. So we will definitely be getting some cast member photo options. Yeah. And I've already mentioned to the Smoking Hot girlfriend who will be with us. Like at some point, baby, you might have to play photog for us because to your point, we don't have any pictures of us that are, staged or whatever. We have a few of us from your wedding, but none of us. It's like, all right, on 3, 1, 2, 3, smile, cheese. None like that.
Yeah, no. Me, you, and my Jay have a photo together, but that's because you officiated, and like that's because I paid the photographer to do that. Mm-hmm. But this Jay, Zaddy Monorail, as it were, we don't have.
No, that is not not a thing.
Right, that we don't have a picture. You're right, Landon. Mm-hmm. But it is Zaddy Monorail.
Correct, it is.
Well played.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And hey, thank you for the reminder, because I do want to share with people, if you happen to be in town for the Living with the Landon event, we are going to do a special little happy hour on Sunday. Now, this will be March 30th, so it's 2 days before the event. But Sunday, March 30th, we are going to do a little happy hour meetup type thing over at CityWorks in Disney Springs. So right now, the plan is to get there around 4, maybe like 4 to 6, and who knows what happens after that. But we're going to meet up there. We'll hang out. We'll have some drinks, and just an opportunity for people to come out and get together with not only us, but other members of the Monday Morning Monorail fam. So if you can make it out to CityWorks, March 30th, 4 to 6 at Disney Springs. And I'll post about it in the Facebook group as well. But we'd love to see you. Just come out, totally informal, little come and go as you please, meet and greet. Hoping to see a lot. I know that, like, if you're a local and you listen to this show, you better come out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
I'll even let you buy me a beer. How about that?
There should be. So
wait, can we... Never mind. We'll talk offline about it. But yeah, you can buy me a drink, not a beer, because I don't like beer. But we could all collectively buy each other drinks.
It's true.
And then Stephers can get, Swifty, and it'll just be karaoke time with Stephers.
Did the kids still get Swifty in 2025?
I was going to say something else, and then I realized this is a quote-unquote family show, so I had to pivot what I said. So Swifty was the first thing that came to my mind.
Well, if you think about it, you've seen that episode of Rick and Morty. Swifty isn't really family friendly. Because you do something on the floor shortly after getting Swifty.
Well, true. Anyway.
And with that.
Oh my God, living with the Landon is in like 2 weeks, guys. What the what?
Yeah.
Well, technically we have technically we have one more show. Well, 2 more shows. What is the show situation when we are all together? Did we ever figure that out for the listeners?
Yeah, because I'm going to be flying in 2 weeks, which is generally the day that we record if we're going to do a little peek-see behind the curtain.
I didn't even think about this before, but we could instead of having one banked for the 31st, why don't we record before the happy hour? We could just record a little something over on the boardwalk or something.
Oh, let's do it on location.
Okay. Lindsay can be part of it. The Smoking Hot Girlfriend can make an appearance. She can be on there. I've got little mics that I can plug into my digital recorder.
He does. Be fun. Can confirm he does. I will say Stephers will be not here next week, so you won't be hearing me until we're all together in one place.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, we are. I mean, you're going to blink and it's going to be here. Living with the Landon happening April 1st, 2025. Mm-hmm. Landon will be 40, and we're going to ride Living with the Land 40 times. Probably not
40 times. Let's shoot for half of that. If we were doing some numbers behind the scenes, 20 does seem doable.
Yeah,
20 seems doable.
You know what we should have done, which is now in hindsight, whatever, is we should have staggered us. We all should have been the thing, the unit, and then we each do a different ride. So when one person goes on one boat, the next person goes on the next boat. So we're all riding it, but then you get more rides in because then that person just filters through. Mm-hmm. That's what we should have done. But
well,
potato.
There might be some situations where I have to designate one of you Landon if Landon has to go to the bathroom.
Correct.
Or Landon wants to eat or drink something that somebody has brought.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah.
Or Landon has to make a phone call because I'm setting it up to do live hits with News Talk 98.7 and maybe some shows on 99.1 The Sports Animal to talk about what I'm doing on April 1st for Living with the Landon and hopefully drive up some more donations while we are currently doing it. So there is going to be some moments where y'all might be designated Landons. So I apologize in advance for the fates that I will bestow upon you.
Ghost Man on Living with the Land. No, we'll make sure that all of the rides count. Well, maybe we should have a baton or something, that whoever's got the baton.
I don't think they'll let us bring a baton. I mean, we can't even bring selfie sticks, let alone batons into.
It doesn't have
Disney
to be
parks.
a big baton.
I have an idea. We'll talk about it offline.
It could be a diving stick,
or it could just be a cute pair of ears.
Yeah, something like that. That's a good idea.
Okay,
all right.
all right.
We're 2 weeks away. We're still hammering out the details. This is great.
Oh, this is going to come together so well.
I think it will. I think this is going to be beautiful. It's all going to come together, coalesce in a beautiful way, and we're going to have a great time on April 1st.
What could possibly go wrong?
But before we get there, we've got Disney news to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's dive into the news. That's right, dreamers. We're back with the headlines from the Walt Disney World Resort. As always, you can follow along. If you'd like to, visit our website, dismornings.com. That's where you can find news, you can find rumors. There's all sorts of things you can check out on that website, in addition to filling out a form if you're interested in booking a trip to Walt Disney World. And Stephers and Nate could be there to help you plan that trip. They are travel agents, and they will help you with all the planning needs that you may have, because traveling Disney can be complicated. It gets more complicated all the time. And we're going to start with another adjustment that's been made to Walt Disney World Ticket Media. So just this last week, Disney World announced they are lowering the annual pass down payment. Now, that doesn't mean they're lowering the price of an annual pass. No. They're just changing the structure. So previously, if you were going to be on a monthly payment plan for a Walt Disney World annual pass, the down payment was $205. Now, this only applies to locals or if you're in DVC, because I think your only option if you live outside of Florida is the Incredipass, and I don't think you can do monthly payments, can you? I don't know. That
is correct. Yeah, when I had to re-up my annual pass earlier this year, they did not give me the option to do a monthly payment. It was when you're buying your Incredipass, you are going to do the lump sum payment all right now. Yeah,
exactly. So this is still the same. That doesn't change, but this is for people who do have access to the monthly payment plan. So old down payments, they were all $205. The new down payment is $99. Now, what they do is they've adjusted the monthly payment for each one of these passes to make up for it. So in the old system, the Pixie Dust Pass monthly payment was $25. Now it's $34. The Pirate Pass was $57. Now it's $66. The Sorcerer Pass was $79. Now it's $88. The Incredipass is $121. Now it's $130. So things to consider. I think basically what Disney's trying to do is capture more of that impulse buy for the annual pass, because it looks like, oh, the only thing I have to pay today is $99 instead of $205. Very strategic, picking the $99 price point as well. Not $100. It's $99. Now that's pre-tax. So, but they haven't changed the prices of the annual pass since back in October 24. It was recent.
Way back then.
Yeah. They just upped it, but yeah. So anyway, a new structure, and I don't know, maybe that does make it a little better for some people, getting that entry point down to $99, but just something to consider. The monthly passes or monthly payments go up in the new system. So interesting. I do think that that's the whole thing, though, just trying to get past that mental block people may have. 205 sounds like a lot. 99's a lot, but not as much.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't break that triple digit number. So your brain is telling you, oh, it's a deal at that point. And plus, honestly, if I had the option to do a monthly payment on my annual pass, I probably would sign up for it. And the change in the old monthly payment to the new monthly payment isn't really that much. So I actually kind of like this move. Granted, at the end of the day, for if you're getting an Incredipass, you're still paying the almost $15.50 for the pass at the end of the day. But at the same time, $9 a month is, in the scheme of things, I don't know if it's necessarily going to break the bank, so to speak, where you're paying $99 before tax as opposed to $205 down payment before tax. So I'd like this move.
Yeah, I think it's good. So check it out, everyone. If you've been considering re-upping your annual pass and you're a local or you're a DVC member, then this new plan can apply to you. And that's, $99. That's just a cute little payment. It's cute.
I mean, $99, that's the cost of 3 eggs these days. That's fine. Just skip breakfast.
Oh, let me tell you, I bought some eggs and that ish was so expensive. Like, when you just like, it's one of those things that you buy all the time. So like, honestly, you put it in the cart and you don't really like, you think about it, but you don't like super think hard about it. Mm-hmm. I finally thought hard about it because people were just like, oh, how about those price of eggs? And I was just like, I don't know. I just put it in my cart and I purchased it. I finally looked at that price, mostly because there weren't eggs and I had to pick a replacement. Eggs are ridiculously expensive. Can we like, hello?
No.
We can't hello.
No, we can't fix that. But thankfully, we're doing stuff like changing the name of Gulf of Mexico. So, important stuff. Thanks a lot, Joseph Hussein O'Biden.
To the World Showcase Lagoon. Can we call the Gulf of Mexico the World Showcase Lagoon? I saw somebody.
Actually, I'm getting breaking news. It's Gulf of America's name is being changed to Gulf of SpaceX Debris. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Stephers, I was trying to cue you up here talking about
cute things. Cute things. Correct. Sorry, I had to go on a tangent about eggs.
Well, this cute thing also has an egg with it. So, yeah.
Exactly. See, we all full circled it. There is a new popcorn bucket coming to Walt Disney World for Easter. If y'all didn't know, Easter is on 4/20 this year. That's all I got to say about that. 4/20, April 20th, y'all. I'm just, shortening it. Mm-hmm. It is a Thumper spring bucket. And it can be found at the various popcorn kiosks around Epcot. It will debut on March 25th. So that's next Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday. And will be available while supplies last. There is a limit of 2 popcorn buckets per person per transaction. I will say I understand resellers are a thing, but for the children, come on.
I know. It's very frustrating. The resale market, that culture it's frustrating to me because you're right. Like, I always think about the people who don't realize that there's Disney, like, collector crazy people who will go buy 100 of these and then resell them on eBay, and they just want to go get one for their kid. And they're like, what is happening? But yeah, I'm hoping, because there's no indication here that they're at popcorn kiosk around Epcot. This isn't like the Figment bucket where you can mobile order it and you go get it. Like, you're just going to have to find it at one of the popcorn kiosks. But hopefully they make plenty of them because these are very cute. I think they're going to be popular. I
have a question, and maybe I already know the answer. So the mobile ordering, like, what qualifies a popcorn bucket to mobile, or is it just because of the demand, do you think?
I would think it is just the demand. And I mean, am I correct in saying only the Figment popcorn buckets have been behind the mobile order wall?
No,
after Disney saw the crazy demand for the original Figment popcorn bucket?
I'm pretty sure that was the first one, but then I think they did do mobile order for one of the popcorn buckets that came out after that at Magic Kingdom, and it may have been the Mr. Toad one. Possibly.
You might be right on that one. Yeah, I think you are right. Okay.
So I don't think it's been the only one, but it is. I mean, it's happened twice for Figment, and for a lot of these others, you don't see it. So, but because I know it happened on the second round of the original Figment popcorn bucket, and then it happened for the Imagination Pavilion popcorn bucket. I don't think it had to go through mobile order for this year's iteration of the popcorn bucket. You did it? Yeah, you did.
Oh, you did? Okay, all right. So I guess just going forward, any Figment popcorn bucket is going to be mobile order, and I guess that's by design because Disney saw people freaking the geek out over it, and buying as many as they could carry, and then put them in a stroller and then loading them up on eBay. But it is a shame. I think this is a cute popcorn bucket. I don't know if it's going to be crazy popular like the Figment popcorn buckets or the aforementioned Mr. Toad one. So like, I think if you want one of these things, you're going to be able to get one. That's just me speculating though.
No, I agree. I think I'm a creature of convenience now. So it's like, to me, I understand the demand of it all, but I really am just like, why can't you just make them all mobile order just to make it easy? Like, because there is a huge Thumper fan, or there's some, fan that's maybe not mainstream, but maybe they just need to pop in and grab it. Kind of.
Pop in.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Well, and to your point,
I
Stephers,
did that very much not.
If you do mobile order it, you do know you're going to be able to get one, and you know where you can go, as opposed to, like Jay said, this is going to be at popcorn buckets throughout Epcot. Yeah. That could be right at the beginning of the World Showcase. That could be at the back of the World Showcase. You could have to wander around.
It'll be like an Easter egg hunt.
Gosh, man. He is in rare form today, folks.
Yeah, he is really trying here. It's okay.
You'll have to roam around aimlessly in a certain area of Epcot. That also reminds me of something else that might roam.
Yeah, but not in Epcot, maybe in a galaxy far, far away, because if you remember when Galaxy's Edge Batuu was originally pitched, Imagineers told us that there were going to be not only Star Wars characters, but Star Wars droids roaming around Galaxy's Edge. And Disney made an announcement getting one step closer to what we were originally pitched, because the roaming BDX droids are finally coming to Walt Disney World. In an announcement from Disney, they said, quote, "You might have seen the playful BDX droids puttering around Disneyland before, and soon they'll make a trip around the world to visit Walt Disney World, Tokyo Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris." Of course, we're focusing on WDW. And that's in response to these little droids appearing in the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu film as well. The droid represents a long-standing promise from Walt Disney Imagineering to have roaming droids within Star Wars Galaxy's Edge land. Like I said, when Disney first told us Galaxy's Edge was coming, when Disney first told us Batuu was coming, they told us, you're going to be able to interact with roaming droids in addition to being able to interact with Rey and Chewbacca and members of the First Order wandering around Galaxy's Edge, making this the most immersive Star Wars experience you can have outside of a Star Wars hotel. But who would do a Star Wars hotel? That's insane. But the fact that the BDX droids are finally making their way to Hollywood studios, long overdue, and these things are cute. And I love the fact that they're already embracing the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu film. I know Jay is going to talk about that here in a second. And they're already implementing it into Galaxy's Edge. We already have a Mando roam around experience in Galaxy's Edge. And this just adds more to the feel that when you really are in Galaxy's Edge, it makes you feel like you do step off world, whether it's the sound of spaceships soaring over your head. Raise your hand if you've literally looked up. Every time you hear that, be like, oh yeah, there's not actually a spaceship above me. That's just really good sound design. Or, oh, cool, look, there's Chewbacca and Rey on a mission, quote, from running from the First Order. It's like, I love the immersion that they have in Galaxy's Edge, and with the addition of these droids, I mean, that's just one step closer to what they originally pitched to us.
Yep. Yeah, I love these little droids. Landon, did you play Jedi Fallen Order? Have you played that game?
I got about halfway through and realized it's a little bit too hard for you, boy.
It is hard,
even on the easiest difficulties. I know, y'all are going to get in the comments and say, "Get good, scrub." I don't disagree, but there was one boss that just broke me, and I had to walk away. It wasn't even one of the like sisters or whatever. It was just it was a fat toad or something. Just wrecked me. It's like, I'm sorry, I thought I was a Jedi. I got a lightsaber and fat toad killed me over. It's like, okay, you win, fat toad.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating. I tried to stick with playing on like a normal difficulty for a long time. I only switched it to like the easiest at the very, very end because I could not defeat the final boss. But anyways,
I will say those Dark Soul and Dark Soul-esque games, not my jams. I understand why people like them, not Landon's jams.
Yeah. Well, I only bring it up just because that's where I first met the BD droids.
He was on Dude's back, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're very cute. And I was jealous when Disneyland got these to see them walking around. I'm excited to see them in Galaxy's Edge. I think it's a great addition. They do sort of have like cast member handlers that walk around with them. And my question is, are they actually free roaming or are they remote control? Because I think they're remote control.
I think they are remote control. And I mean, you did mention it. They are going to have a cast member handler, and I would imagine that handler is going to be very discreetly controlling it, remote controlling.
Yeah. But they're still cute, and they managed to do a great job making them feel very alive and interactive. So it's a great addition. I'm not complaining. It's funny to me because this is one of those things that has popped up over the years at Walt Disney World. Because if you remember, there used to be a talking trash can that would roll around Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah,
called Push. And then they also had that. I never saw it in person, but there was that Muppets mobile lab that was like, it was almost on a Segway that would like go around in Epcot. I never actually saw that in person, but we've had like versions of this. Originally in Animal Kingdom, there was a dinosaur that like a big.
That's right. Yep.
Walk around dinosaur. It didn't last very long.
I was going to say, I don't recall that, but like, I believe you.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, I think that every version of these comes back like even better, and so I'm excited to see these. That's something to look forward to, and like you said, gets us a little closer to the original idea of Galaxy's Edge.
And it adds to the ambiance, and it builds the atmosphere that I think is a big sell of going to the Galaxy's Edge area. Because I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, Rise of the Resistance is awesome, one of the best attractions I've ever been on. But sometimes you look at that wait, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze that one into my day at Hollywood Studios. So we're just going to walk around and enjoy being in a galaxy far, far away. And if you have a gaggle of BDX droids, that adds to it even more.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be happy to see these little guys. Speaking of new experiences coming to Galaxy's Edge, you did mention the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming up. Well, as part of a panel at South by Southwest, the Mandalorian creator and Disney legend Jon Favreau was joined on stage by Imagineers Leslie Evans and Asa. Is it Asa or Asa? I never know how to say that name. Asa?
I believe it's Asa.
Asa Kalama, to talk about what's coming soon to Batuu. One of the cool things about Disney is how we can tell our stories in so many different formats, Favreau told the crowd. We're already taking Mando and Grogu from the TV screen to the movie screen, and at the same time, Dave and I are working with Asa to bring the story to the Disney parks too. So basically, we had heard about this before, that the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run was going to be getting a new mission, and it sounds like we're getting it very soon. The day the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is in theaters, it comes out May 22nd, 2026. We will also get an update to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. When I said very soon, I was thinking it was 25, but actually it's next year. It's May 22nd, 26. So it's still a year and a couple months away, but it's exciting. I mean, I think I've said before, we've all said before, like Smuggler's Run, your experience can vary based on the role that you have in the ride. But one of the things that would make it more rewritable would be different missions, which is something you feel like they could do in a game like this that's basically a big video game. So I'm excited that is happening. I wonder how much the pre-show will change, if at all. It's just interesting if they'll do like some updates to the overall experience, or will it really just be the ride? Because I would assume you're not going to be going to collect coaxium anymore, so they'd have to change like the pre-show when you're getting the information about what your mission's going to be, So
yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, Doc would probably tell you you're doing something different, unless maybe Mando is getting in the coaxium game too. I don't know.
Yeah.
And instead of when Doc tosses to Chewie, it now tosses to Mando, and that would be the different part of it.
Yeah. So
maybe, I don't know.
Be interesting to find out.
And I just thought of this. We have a Chewbacca run on Smuggler's Run. Does that mean we're going to have a Mando run?
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would
or
be
a
awesome.
Grogu run.
A Grogu run. That'd be even better.
There we go. Yeah. Disney, are you listening?
That would be how you say cute.
It would be cute.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
The last thing in this snippet that I took was they said, working alongside the Mandalorian team, the Imagineers captured scenes for the attraction on the movie set, and you might see some familiar and beloved Star Wars locations aboard the Millennium Falcon. Care for a trip to Cloud City, anyone? This isn't going to retell what happens in the movie. It's more like participating in something that's happening just off camera from what you see in the film. So that's exciting.
Cool.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I mean, like you said it, we've all been wanting different runs for the Falcons since Smuggler's Run opened because, I mean, to us ding-dongs, it feels like something that they could easily pull off. I don't know how easily they can pull it off, but in this instance, they're proving they can do different runs for the Falcon. And the fact that they're teaming it up with what I think is going to be a highly anticipated movie coming out next year, I think is exciting and hopefully is a sign of things to come. If this is well received, what's not to say we can't get other instances and stories in the Star Wars galaxy inserted into runs for the Falcon on Smuggler's Run.
When you said Doc, I was trying to remember the name of the guys. Hondo Onaka. Why could I not think of Hondo Onaka? I
was thinking of Doc Ondar and his Den of Antiquities. Yeah, that one's on me, y'all. My bad. I'll show myself out of the podcast.
Don't do that.
I had to Google it.
I really crossed the streams on that one.
Oh, all right.
Speaking of crossing streams, that's how my segue is going to go. I got none on that one.
Kachow,
Kachow. Thank you. That's a better transition. All right. Yeah. So we're moving on up and moving on out. Walt Disney Imagineering confirms, let's clear my throat here, confirms new Cars-themed rally race attraction will use track-based ride system despite rumors. Mm-hmm. In a new episode of We Call It Imagineering, Imagineers discuss the upcoming Cars-themed off-road rally race, say that 10 times very fast, attraction coming to the expanded area of Frontierland at Magic Kingdom. The attraction will take guests over various terrains as it simulates an off-road experience through a hilly region. So test track at Magic Kingdom. Got it. In the video, Imagineers confirmed the attraction would utilize a track-based system, shutting down early rumors that it would be a trackless ride system, which honestly to me kind of makes me sad, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. Not only did Imagineers verbally confirm that the vehicle will steer itself through a track system, they also utilize video shown off at the recent South by Southwest conference, showing a vehicle traveling along a track with bumps positioned strategically to create the feel of traveling in an off-road environment.
Yeah.
So it's test track at Magic Kingdom is the moral of this.
It kind of feels like that, yeah.
With Lightning McQueen, yeah.
Do you remember?
I wonder if it's because it's outside. Is it?
I don't know.
And like it's easier to like, or not easier, but I don't know. Interesting.
I never was under the impression that you would drive the car as the guest. I thought it was going to drive itself, but I remember there was like some sort of a promotional video that we saw at some point where they were showing off these dune buggy like rally cars.
I remember that. Yeah,
and they were driving themselves. And that was, to me, I thought that's what they were testing out for this ride. So it's funny that we say like despite rumors, because I don't think that was a rumor. That's what, at least to me, was being teased as the ride system for this attraction.
That's what some people thought, and some people are going to say that was the rumor. I think, but I'm with you. I remember that video of those dune buggy looking vehicles. It is kind of a bummer. It doesn't look like it's going to be a trackless ride that we've kind of gotten used to when it comes to new attractions that Disney's put out. But I think Stephers does make a good point. Since it is going to be an outdoors attraction, maybe exposure to the elements would make it that much harder to maintain that type of technology. And hell, I mean, I just name checked Rise of the Resistance a few minutes ago. That's an indoor trackless attraction, and that has issues being able to stay up and running. Now, granted, that has different issues being able to maintain its running status for a variety of reasons, not because, it rained weird that day.
Right.
But still.
Yeah. Well, I'm still, this doesn't make me less excited, because I think it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah.
And I do think that they'll execute it a little different than Test Track, but I think you're not far off, Stephers, in saying it just kind of feels like
that's also not a dig at Test.
You love
Test Track. Is one of my favorite. Yeah, Test Track is one of my favorite rides. I remember when we talked about this initially, I definitely was like, oh, maybe they'll utilize a trackless system. Mm-hmm. But I do think the elements is a really big factor, especially it being Florida. So I can see why it's probably easier to do a track. It also gives a more authentic experience in terms of like a car. So, You know what I mean? Like, so I get where they're coming from. Being that I've been to Cars Land, I'm very excited to see, like, a huge thing that I love about Cars Land is the landscaping, like the views and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm more excited to see that anyway. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Why not?
Well, and speaking of Test Track, I mean, there is part of that attraction that is exposed outdoor in the elements. Granted, it's not a large portion of it, but it is part of it. And speaking of Test Track, did you know that today, March 17th in 1999, is when Test Track opened?
Oh, wow. Well, that is a fun fact. 1999, so it would be 26 years old. Man, they should have planned out this refurbishment a little bit better. They like reopening on its 26th birthday would have been
cool, right?
That would have been cool. Oh well. I know we're getting it a little bit later this year. I'm excited to see Test Track 3.0. And I guess we can call the Cars Rally Race Test Track 4.0 Kachow. Test Track Kachow.
Yes, there it is. Test Track Kachow.
Although I guess Radiator Springs Racers is really Test Track Kachow. It's just because that's
no.
Yeah,
no, that's a different. No, I know, but different strokes for different folks, dude. This will for us. For these East Coasters, you know, it's separate.
That's funny. So speaking of East Coast, you know, we always talk about being fair to Florida because Disneyland gets good stuff. This next thing falls into the category of being fair to the East Coast. Be fair to Florida.
Being fair to Florida. We saw Disney's finally being fair to Florida, bringing the BDX droids over to Florida. And Disney is showing a little bit more Star Wars love to Florida as well, as they're introducing a new version of the build your own lightsaber experience coming to Savi's workshop in Hollywood Studios. Disney announced, quote, over the centuries, countless lightsabers fell into the hands of smugglers and bounty hunters. Remnants of these ancient battles and abandoned scraps have been scavenged from the distant reaches of galaxies' outer rims. Now, guests can build them into elegant tools that symbolize balance in the Force. This new limited time offering will be available on Batuu starting on, wait for it, May the 4th, 2025, while supplies last. The limited time offerings will bring new scraps to Savi's workshop, giving guests a new, unique way to customize their lightsabers. Disney says that the scraps have been scavenged by different pirates throughout the galaxy and have made their way to Batuu. The standard offering of peace and justice, power and control, elemental nature, your boy over here, that was me, and protection and defense will be offered alongside this new limited time reclaimed and reforged story. All lightsabers are $249.99 plus tax, and a full payment is due at the time of booking. Guests can make one lightsaber per pay to build per experience. This experience is recommended for guests 5 and older, with at least one person in the party being required to be 14 years or older, end quote. I did an elemental nature build on my lightsaber. Jay, I know you have built your own lightsaber. I don't know which order you decided to go with. Stephers, I don't think you have done the Savi's workshop build. So question for me and Jay, and then different question for you, Stephers, as people who have done the Savi's workshop build. Jay, knowing that this reclaimed and reforged offering is now available, would this make you put down the $250 plus tax? Would this make you go back and build this new lightsaber? And Stephers, does this move the needle for you in any way, inspire you, as it were, to go put down the $250 plus tax to do something you have yet to do?
So I'll just say, I think it's great that they're doing this, and it's fun that it's like a limited time thing that you could get a unique lightsaber that not everybody in the future will have access to. So that's really cool. $250 is a lot of money. And I will, as I've said in the past, when I did the Savi's workshop experience, I thought for me it was worth, as a huge Star Wars fanatic my whole life, it was worth every penny. I loved the experience. I don't think that I will ever do it again unless it totally changed, just because that just feels like being irresponsible with money. Although I am an adult and I can do what I want with my money, but still.
Yeah, you are.
But still, like, there's other things that I'd like to try for the first time, as opposed to going back and doing this again. I love my lightsaber. I think it's very cool. If I had maybe a better way to display them or something, I might think about it, but I like the fact they're doing this. I don't think I will take advantage of it personally, but I think it is really it's cool that they're offering something different for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, sorry, I'm fact checking myself before I speak out of turn. I've always wanted to do this. I just, I reflect on how much of a fan I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is it worth the money, essentially?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is, but $250 is a lot. And I could do like a tour I've always wanted to do, or like at least partial payment for a tour I've always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where my mind goes. And also I don't like, I have a Harry Potter one that I still haven't like displayed. I just like, I'm trying to be a smart adult, you know?
Yeah.
But the experience I would love to do at some point, just because it's not even about the fact that I'll have a lightsaber for myself. It's kind of just the atmosphere and the experience itself that I would love to kind of do. And if you think about it that way, you are paying for an experience.
Yeah.
You are paying for something interactive. You're paying, and then you get like a tangible thing to take home with you. So if you do it that way, it kind of is essentially like a tour or something like that. So yes and no. I don't think that this would have had to move the needle for me in general, because it's something I do want to do. It's just a financial thing that I just can't afford right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I would do it regardless. If I had the money, I would have done it already. So
Yeah, I totally get that, and it's like I've been fortunate enough to be able to financially pull off going to Savi's, but when I did it, it was mostly on the back of a Disney gift card too. So that definitely helped, but it's only gotten more expensive since I've done it. And you do talk about the experience. Honestly, it's like, yeah, the lightsaber was dope, but the experience of building it and the cast member who walked you through it and told the story was really the selling point for me. Like I got a phenomenal cast member who told the story like so well. It's like you knew that he believed every word coming out of his story. He was a resident of Batuu. He wasn't, Kyle from Orlando who checked in that day to go play a role. He was that resident of Batuu, telling the story of Jedis of the past and the story and the legacy of building and carrying around a lightsaber. So it's like, yeah, Stephers, you talk about the experience. Highly recommended, A, if you do have the funds, B, if you want to do this. I am curious what these reclaimed and reforged lightsabers are going to look like and how they're going to be differentiated, there we go, from the regular lightsabers they do offer. I am curious what they're going to look like.
I'm interested, and I'm going to say this, and I know that's probably not a thing, but what if it's like, I don't want to say rejected because that's disrespectful, but what if it's like refurbed lightsabers? Like maybe they have like a bin, not a bin, but you know what I'm saying? Then they repurposed them.
Yeah.
Essentially, and now they have, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's probably more in depth than that, but in my head, so it's like utilizing what they've had in the past, but also giving it like a new vibe, a new look, I don't know. And not that anyone's going to pay $250 for a refurbed lightsaber. I'm just saying, like, they obviously made it better, but they're using stuff
give it kind of a weathered look, maybe.
Yeah. And then they're still using stuff that they have, but also, I don't know.
Interesting, because I mean, especially what they're calling it, reclaimed and reforged, it would lead one to think maybe it will have kind of that weathered, used, battle worn look, as opposed to some of the newer, pristine lightsabers you could get.
I'm thinking like a Mando kind of, like a, what's his name, Boba Fett, kind of like that kind, like their helmets, like the worn kind of vibe. Like that's what I'm thinking when I think of reformed and reforged. Yeah. Also, reforged kind of really gives Mando vibes. Anyway, not besides the point.
Well, and to answer the original question, protection and defense was what I went with, and if you're on YouTube, you can maybe see it. Yeah. Because
see it fade into existence.
It's fading in and out. It's like a Force ghost lightsaber. Here, let's see if I go back. No, that doesn't help. Okay, well, anyway. So you can go to YouTube and see my lightsaber fade in and out of existence. But yeah, I got and I went with a purple crystal.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I went green, so
they're kind of beat up as they are. Like mine, there's like little scars and gashes in there because it's supposed to look like antiques.
Yeah, because in the story of Savi, these are pieces found throughout the galaxy by scrappers and pirates. So
yeah. So, anyways, there it is, or at least you can kind of see it. I think my battery's dead. Otherwise, I would ignite the saber right now.
Oh yeah, my battery is definitely dead, and I am
what
having
kind of batteries
such a.
does that take?
Not just a AA
It's
or
double
a
A's,
AAA?
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they did like a fancy battery that like
No,
you never
no,
will buy, so
no,
then
it's-
you're never
it-
going to return.
Yeah, nothing like a watch battery or something. Like once it goes out, it's like, well, that thing's dead.
No, but what I have found is that if you don't, even if you're not using like your lightsaber all the time, it just for some reason it drains the battery. Like so, like if you, I've had mine sitting here in my office now for like the last year where I haven't probably touched it. And then I
Ringing endorsement. Yeah.
But the last time I did, I know I replaced the batteries because I wanted to like turn it on and mess with it, and so I bring it out now and it's dead. So, anyways,
Yep.
that's
Yeah,
that.
I know mine is dead, and I've had a hard time getting that daggone dead battery out. So
Oh, it is hard. Like when you get the little battery cartridge out, the batteries are like really tightly stuck in there.
yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I just remember when I was putting it together in Savi, every one of those cast members just make it look so effortless. It's like it comes as natural as breathing to them. And here I am struggling to just snap it into place. It's like there's Frank from Dillo's Diz was my +1, and he like recorded the entire experience. And there's one shot of me. It looks like I'm about to pass out. I'm struggling so hard putting on a panel.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I feel so inadequate next to you.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a funny story, but also it's a funny.
Thank you. I appreciate you laughing at my suffering.
It is, but also it's good to point out that if you do get a chance to experience Savi's workshop, you do get a +1. So if there's someone who just wants to come in and check it out, like Stephers said, take in the experience, be part of the environment, you can bring somebody with you, and they just kind of stand there and get to observe.
Any nerds in the chat? Any nerds in the chat that want to, invite a girl for their +1? I'm cute. I'll take photos. I know how to do it. I am a millennial. I'm just saying.
I mean, if old man Frank can figure it out, he's the opposite of a millennial.
Landon, please. I'm trying to sell myself as a +1.
Had to be better if you phrase.
I know. I said it and I was like, oh no.
Producer Mark Tape.
Yeah. So I hope maybe there's someone that, listens to the show that will get to experience the. Landon, you didn't say, would this bring you back in to build another one?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I did say I'm curious on seeing what the reclaimed and reforged saber looks like. Now, if it looked like super awesome, maybe, but it's like, to your point, it's like I don't have a good way to display the current lightsaber I have. So I don't think I can financially justify getting a second lightsaber that's just going to also sit in the lightsaber bag that you do get in your $250. That's just going to sit next to the other lightsaber I have.
It's invisible too. Why is everything invisible?
Wait, didn't they get rid of that, or did they bring it back? Was that a short term
case?
Did they?
I thought they
remember
brought
we
it
talked
back.
about it. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say we talked about it on a show in the past.
We've talked about a lot of things in the past that I don't
Correct.
remember.
I don't remember if they brought. I guess they brought it back full.
You know I don't listen to this show, Stephers.
Ready?
But I feel like they did bring it back.
Okay. Well, wait.
And if they didn't, the chat will let me know, because that's what they did.
Oh, I just clicked on something, but it may have been an old article and it said you get the bag. So anyway, who knows? Someone will tell us.
Yes, I will.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I actually was going to, this is more of a group chat kind of thing. I know Stephers is more, between the three of us, she's more of the water park fan than you or I, Landon. So Disney did confirm through their Instagram that they are bringing back H2O Glow After Hours event to Typhoon Lagoon this summer. And we don't know any details. That was just sort of an announcement that they put on their Instagram. They said, "Let's glow. Disney H2O Glow After Hours is returning with fun for the whole family on select nights this summer. Stay tuned for more splashing details."
Splashing details.
Yeah. So as a noted water park curmudgeon, I guess I would call myself, I do think that the Disney water parks are awesome. Like they're themed so well, and they are more of like an immersive experience that you can really enjoy, even if you don't necessarily want to go soak in the nasty wave pool. And I love a lazy river, I'll just say, regardless of the situation. But I don't always want to get wedgies from like the slides or things like that. But I feel like the Disney water parks do give you an opportunity for like a really nice experience. And by the way, don't forget, if you're staying at a Disney resort, have they started doing the on your check-in day? You get to go for like you get access to a water park on your check-in day. I think that started, or maybe it starts next year. I don't know. I think it started this year. Anyways, take advantage of it. Go check it out.
2025.
Yeah. So I personally. The H2O Glow Nights actually do sort of like interest me as something I would potentially do, because it's like a different spin. I know there'd be characters out. There'd be probably music playing, food and drink options, like different things like that. So it could potentially get me to the park. And I know Volcano Bay is doing a couple nighttime events this year.
Listen, we need to get petition for Justin Monorail to go to Volcano Bay with me, period.
Yeah. I will someday, I promise.
I hate it here.
But Landon, just asking you, because I know you, especially because you've got your inner ear problems, like, would a after hours H2O Glow kind of a situation entice you to make it out to like Typhoon Lagoon?
I mean, maybe for the party and the atmosphere, possibly. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. I'm still not going to get into the water or the attractions. I will get into a lazy river because I feel pretty safe in a lazy river. I don't feel like I'm going to be tipped in or go under as long as I, hang on to my inner tube or whatever. But I would be more likely to go to an after hour event because, to your point, there would be special characters out there. One would imagine there would be food and drink options that you wouldn't have normally. We assume, and there would be, a fun party atmosphere. That said, it's like, I don't know if this is something I'm booking a trip specifically for.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, when you said that, like special characters, it also made me think there's most likely there's going to be like a DJ in the park. If you have ever in your mind thought it might be really fun to see, I don't know, Elastigirl and Mike Wazowski dancing to Chapel Roan's Hot to Go, there's a chance you could see that, because I totally did at Jollywood Nights. And it was life-changing.
My life would be forever changed by that moment as well.
Yeah.
All right, I take it back. That is something I would book a trip for.
That's not on anyone's bingo card. You just get that for free. That's the free space.
Perfect.
So, anyways, there's a chance you can see cool stuff like that. Stephers, I forget. Have you ever been to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach?
I've been to Typhoon Lagoon. I have not been to Blizzard Beach. And I've also been to Aquatica, but we're not that podcast anymore.
How does Typhoon Lagoon stack up? I know you love Volcano Bay, but like, if you were going to put them on like a 0 to 10 scale, is Volcano Bay like a 10? And Typhoon?
Okay, so I'm biased.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that out front because I know a lot of people are going to be like, meh, 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 meh. I'm biased. I will say I don't think any park is a 10.
Oh.
I'm going to say that. I do think Volcano Bay is probably a good between 8 and 9. The reason why I put it so high also, though, is I invest in a cabana when I go. Yeah, because I make it like a group thing. So I get a cabana for me and my friends, and it's just the convenience and it makes the experience a bit more elevated. Typhoon Lagoon, I like the theming, and I like I haven't been in a very long time, so I will say like Crush and Gusher and all that stuff, like I haven't experienced that. But from what I remember from when I have gone, it's a solid 6 or 7 to the, in terms of park. I've never been to Blizzard Beach, but the thing is I'm not really interested in Blizzard Beach. The theming and stuff just never really caught my eye. But I've had a lot of good memories, at water parks over the years. So for a Disney park, it's very comparable to Volcano Bay. It's just different strokes for different folks kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's fair. I was just curious how it stacked up. I mean, like, because like I said, growing up, in Tennessee, in East Tennessee, we had a little place called Ogle's Water Park in Pigeon Forge. And that place was just your basic. There was a wave pool, there were slides, there was no theme. It was just a bunch of like hillbillies getting sunburnt.
I mean, we
and
had
now the
Rapids Water Park.
hillbillies shoot each other at water parks in East Tennessee.
Oh my God.
Well, we had Rapids Water Park. So like if you're going, well, I guess it's also in Florida, but that's like I want 4, I feel like is a very generous 4 or 5. It's like if you can't afford to go to Disney, you go to Rapids Water Park. That's the kind of vibe. But yeah, no, you get what you pay for, I think, when you go to like the bigger theme parks instead of like smaller water parks. So,
well, and to put it on the scale that I laid out, what I was going to say is I'd give Ogles like a 2, maybe 2.5.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I would give, and then Splash Country comes along. That's attached to Dollywood, and it's a step up. It's got theme. It's nice. There's food and drink options there. I'd give that like a 5.
Yeah, it feels about right. Yeah.
In terms of water parks, I'd give Typhoon Lagoon a 7. So I'm in about that same zone. It's the best, in my opinion. And I've never been to Aquatica. I've never been to Volcano Bay. So for me, Typhoon Lagoon's like the most themed, immersive, nicest water park that I've been to. I really did like it. It's just water parks aren't my thing. That's all.
I do think, knowing you and what you like, I do think you'd really enjoy Volcano Bay. I don't know necessarily that you'll rank it higher than Typhoon Lagoon, just because it depends on the vibe that you're going for. But I do think it'll be at least in the realm of what you think of Typhoon. Okay. For sure.
Sounds good. I want to try. I do want to go. I've been a Universal annual pass holder for 3 years now, and I always get the 3-park pass. I've never been to Volcano Bay. So this year I downgraded to the 2-park pass, and I was like, if I go, I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy a single day ticket. Like, that's what's going to happen.
It's pretty affordable considering, and
yeah. So
for the one time you go.
For the one time I go. And then I'm going to love it and be like, why haven't I always been coming here?
I'm just saying.
I know people love it. Cocktail Bob and his wife Christina went, and they've gone a couple times and had a really good time. So
see,
yeah. But I also hear great things about Aquatica. So
I do love me an Aquatica, but that's like a nostalgia thing. So like,
So I was going to throw out a question to our Monorail fam about water parks, but we already actually have a question that I threw out this week. It was sort of an impromptu question of the week, and I want to set it up now to give everybody sort of a chance to sound off, and also maybe this will remind you to go visit our Facebook group, the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook, and also we put the question in our Discord as well if you want to join our chat and connect with the Monorail fam throughout the week, but. As we all are aware, Stephers, you brought up the price of eggs at the beginning of the show. The markets and the economy are sort of volatile right now. And if we remember the last time that Disney had some ambitious building plans, it was the reimagining of Epcot. And that we saw this multi-level convention space they were going to build, or they called it a festival center they were going to build. There was the Mary Poppins ride they were going to add to the UK. Like all these things. In fact, when you went to the Epcot experience that was in the Odyssey, it still talked about like all these things they were going to do. And then COVID happened and Disney didn't have any money and they canceled like most of those projects that were like, in my opinion, in the works. So the question I had, as we all are observing, and this is just I think this is an unbiased observation. We are seeing signs that we may be heading into a recession. The economy may be heading into a recession. The flags are there. So that being the case, if that does happen, we know we've got Cars Land on the horizon. We talked about the new Cars Rally Race ride. We know we've got Villains Land probably in 2030 or beyond. We know we've got, the Monsters, Inc. Land coming to Hollywood Studios. Lots of pretty big plans have been announced for Walt Disney World. And who knows if they were going to maybe even try to build on that with, in response to Epic Universe, because I imagine once Epic Universe is fully open and people get to go experience it, everything that we're hearing so far from like team member previews, people are blown away by what they're seeing at Epic Universe. So has Disney sort of like put themselves behind the 8 ball here by waiting and seeing, and then announcing all these projects, and they haven't really started on a lot of them. And now, what are they going to do if the economy goes into recession? And my question is, out of all the current projects we have on the table that are coming up for Walt Disney World, what do you feel like is the most at risk if the economy goes into a downturn and people don't travel as much and Disney has to make some cost-cutting decisions? This is something I asked the fam. We've got some messages and some answers out there already, but I want to give people some time to think about this. And Stephers, I know you won't be with us next week, so maybe as a tease, you can tell us like where your head's at on this, and me and Landon will hold ours for next week. But have you thought much about that?
Yeah. Well, as you were talking about it, and as I've read some of the responses that we've already gotten, I will say one of the things that I suspect is one of the things we talked about today.
Yeah.
So I want to be optimistic and say, oh yeah, nothing. I really, even if something has an announcement date or like an opening date, is on the docket, respectfully.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Magic Kingdom. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I hear you.
So,
I mean, honestly, it's like, yeah, if they haven't officially like purchased materials for these things, like, are you gotta know that not only the economy potentially going into a downturn, but also the price of building materials, because most of that stuff comes from outside the country, is going to skyrocket.
Yep.
And so
the T word, tariffs.
So anyways, something to think about, and we'll get into it more next week once we get some more responses from the fam. But yeah, it's just interesting, and it's I have a feeling all this stuff that Josh Tomorrow got up on stage and he's like, these aren't blue sky. This is really happening.
Well, about that.
It might have to be potentially rolled back. I don't want. Here's what I'll say, just as early thinking, like a little prequel to our discussion. If they're going to have to make massive cuts to Villains Land and only half do it, I want them to not do it.
Agreed. Yeah. Put your whole ass into it. Don't half-ass it.
Yep. And I will give Universal a tip of the cap, because they made the decision during COVID to be like, we're going to build this thing. And they committed to it, and they did it. And they've already said they've got room for expansion. Like, they're thinking like they're 2 steps ahead at this point. So
they are.
Youch.
I will say we're putting them up here. We're lifting them up, but we know darn well when this park opens to the public, they're going to have issues.
Oh, sure.
We already know. We're not Delulu and cuckoo. Well, we are
Delulu.
Cuckoo. Okay, I'm just saying, like, we are also very realistic, and like we know. But the fact that they I know people who are actually working on Epic Universe. And when I tell you how passionate and how excited, and like, you can tell that a lot of, not to say that Disney's not doing this at all. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you could tell that they're so excited for what's to come that it's like really, it's kind of just nice to see that kind of like the trajectory and like the planning and all the things that they already have in the works. It's so great. It's so nice. I'm so excited. One day.
I think it's so smart the way they're doing the previews as well, because they're just like testing little things out at a time, so they can start already working through some of those operational issues. So smart. Which
is smart in terms of the question too, because what happens, like, so they don't have to fix all the things at once. They can little by little do it, and that's super smart.
Do it in waves. But to your point, Stephers, we do know once Epic opens to the public, stuff is going to go sideways. Every park, when it opens to the public, whether it be Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Jurassic Park, something can and will go wrong.
Yep.
Next month's question of the month: how likely is a real Jurassic Park?
I don't know. We're talking about bringing woolly mammoths back from the dead. We already have woolly mice.
Woolly mice.
Yeah. They're cute little rascals. Have y'all seen them?
They are cute. Yeah.
No, I don't look up our impending doom.
I, for one, welcome our future dinosaur / AI robot overlords.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be polite. When I go to Wendy's and I get the AI drive-thru, I say please and thank you to the robot, because I want them to remember I was one of the ones who was nice.
Yep.
I say thank you to my Sharky robot vacuum. So same.
I always say please and thank you to my. I don't want to say it too loud because I don't want to trigger it right now. Because she's always listening.
Always watching. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the day. If you want to sound off and get involved in the conversation, you can definitely do that. We've got the question on the Monday Morning Monorail Fam Facebook group. We also have a Discord where we've got a weekly questions channel, and it's in both places, and you can interact with us there. And then we'll talk about all those responses next week. In the meantime, you can follow us everywhere at Morning Monorail, and we have the YouTube channel that you should be subscribing to, because now we're putting videos up every week thanks to Stephers and her editing prowess. Yeah, you can see our faces and see my invisible lightsaber.
I'm actually holding up my invisible lightsaber.
Yeah, look,
too.
there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So,
doing some sweet invisible lightsaber moves right now.
oh man, you're an expert at invisible lightsaber.
I am a Jedi. What can I say?
Have you ever watched this? This probably shouldn't start a new conversation, but you know, every once in a while, ESPN will do the Ocho, and
Yes. Uh-huh. I
and
love
one
the Ocho.
one of the things that they're
I think I know where this is going.
the air guitar championships.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's insane.
Me and the Smoking Hot Girlfriend, we were in Nashville, and we went to Tailgate Brewing, and we sat down, we're waiting for our pizza to come out, and they have it on in the background. We could not stop watching.
I know,
It was so fun to watch.
It's crazy. The funny thing is, I was at a brewery watching the air guitar championships, so I was right there with you.
You can't turn away from it. It was incredible.
It was wild. Incredible, the kind of entertainment that we can find these days. Anyways, speaking of entertainment you can find when you go looking for it, Stephers, what about if people wanted to watch you play some video games?
I was wondering if the phrasing was going to be really off on that one. Yes, I stream on Twitch Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. You actually all missed me making bao buns on stream yesterday. Well, yesterday from when we're recording this, but on Saturday I made bao buns. I also have a Discord server for my gaming situations, and I posted a picture of my bao buns, and they were very delicious and very good. Twitch.tv/adventures with Stephers. And I do Final Fantasy Fridays. Wednesdays are kind of like a hoopla, and Saturdays are also, well, no, Saturdays I usually do like community games or like games with my friends and stuff like that. So it's really fun. If you guys want to hang out in the chat, that'd be cool. But yeah, I try to do cooking streams once a month. So maybe I'll dabble in some Disney recipes. Maybe make my worlds cross over.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great. So check out Adventures with Stephers for all the things.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
And then if like, say you're a person who likes terrestrial radio, well, boy, do I have something for you, because we happen to have a professional right here among us. Landon, is it true that people can find you on like the FM radio stations?
Well, first of all, Jay, people don't actually like terrestrial radio anymore. I see the number. Anyway, yes, as a matter of fact, you can find me on the Phil Show, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday at newstalk987.com. That's a radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And if you're not here in Knoxville, Tennessee, you can listen live at newstalk987.com. We also have an app, the Newstalk 987 app, and you can stream us on the iHeartRadio app as well. But maybe if you want to follow along with me on social media, you could do so at THEDOZ, Landon on Blue Ski, Landon Doane. I'm the best, Landon Doane, not the rest. I forget how many characters I have on Blue Ski, but we have fun over there. I like to talk about non-serious stuff like Tennessee sports, wrestling, magic cards, tell jokes, try to make the terrible world that we're living in a little less terrible. But we have talked about it a handful of times. We're like 2-ish weeks away from my 40th birthday. And that's important to y'all, because for my 40th birthday, I'm heading down to Orlando, Florida, heading down to Epcot, and I will be marathon riding Living with the Land. And we are calling it Living with the Landon. And in doing so, I'm going to be raising money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, particularly their Food for Kids program. For example, if I ride Living with the Land 10 times, I want you to pledge money for that. And for those 10 rides I make, if you pledge $4 for those 10 rides, Jay, how much money would Second Harvest Food Bank get from me riding 10 times?
Let me see. You got to divide by 5, carry $40. $40.
That's right. So a For every $1 you raise, $1 for a ride. For example, $10, $4 a pledge, that's $40. But maybe you don't want to do a per ride pledge. We do take one-time pledges as well. You can find more information, how you can donate, how you can get your very own merchandise. We're talking t-shirts, hoodies. We got a couple different styles of the t-shirts and coffee mugs, different couple styles of coffee mugs as well at livingwiththelandon.com. We've gotten a bump in both donations and merch sales in the last few weeks, and that makes your boy feel good. But thank y'all that have donated. Thank y'all that have pledged. Thank y'all that have gotten your merchandise. It means the world to me, and it means the world to the people of East Tennessee that Second Harvest Food Bank helps. Second Harvest Food Bank services 18 counties in East Tennessee. Second Harvest Food Bank can take $1 and turn that into 3 meals for people in East Tennessee who need help getting food on the table and into their bellies, particularly kids in situations that are just it's not fair that they're in, and Second Harvest Food Bank stands in the gap to help those kids. So help me, help them, and y'all are the best. I truly do mean that, and we're going to be raising some money on April 1st, so come along for the ride, and this ride is a boat ride through a greenhouse. Talk to y'all next week. Love you, mean it.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
I'm gonna have a good time.
Very, very excited about living with the Landon. It's going to be, that whole weekend is going to be a blast. We're really going to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, we're doing a happy hour. We announced at the top of the show. Don't forget that.
Yep. So come out and see us at City Works on March the 30th, 4 to 6. We're going to be there. We're going to do it up big. If you wear a Monday Morning Monorail shirt, I'll have something for you.
I'll buy you a drink.
I wasn't going to commit to that.
Wow.
Okay,
I'll commit to it. I'll buy you a drink.
Stephers is going to buy you a drink.
Well, dang, I need to remember to wear my Monday Morning Monorail
It is not.
shirt.
We are not included. We're not included.
This is like all the promotions at work. Staff and family members of staff are not eligible to win prizes. Well, dang it.
It's true.
Sorry.
I'll give you a big high five.
I'll give you a nice little butt tap.
little smickety smack.
Birthday
remember,
smacks.
You have to say good game after you do that.
Absolutely, 100%. I would never do it without it.
And how about this? If you're wearing Living with the Landon merchandise, I'll give you a sticker from Second Harvest Food Bank. How about that?
That's awesome.
How about that?
Yeah.
I really need to have like a stockpile of stickers and pins that we could give out to people. I'm going to have to place an order and get some of that kind of stuff.
While supplies last on those stickers, by the way.
Yeah. Anyways, hope to see you all out there. But you know what? Even more importantly, we hope to see you back here next week. This has been episode 243 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Next week, Stephers will not be with us, but she'll be here in spirit, and we'll do our best to keep this monorail rolling down the tracks.
Woo woo!
We love you all so much. You're the best in the biz, and we can't wait to talk to you again next week. But until then, thank a team member, thank a cast member, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.